not going to take more than 15 minutes. Because all I'll be talking about is just telling you about the company and what we do and why we do what we do. Okay? Those who are here before, they know how this thing goes. And this talk is what people need to hear constantly. You need to hear it constantly because in your work with us, you need to know what we do and how we do it. If you do not know it, maybe you're employed as an admin manager or you're employed as a site manager, and then they ask you what is it you see, what do they do? You say, actually, start speaking grammar. That will not speak well of anybody at all. Alright? So, let me start with the basic introduction. My name, young lady, my name is Bankole Motaya. I'm Executive Director. Take a chair there, there's no chair there.
Alright, sir.
Okay. Alright. EUC Homes, as you can see, is elegant, unique, and comfortable. E for elegant, U for unique, and C for comfortable. That's what it is. We have created that acronym for ourselves because we are now doing real estate. We do many other business apart from real estate, but here in EUC Homes, we're a real estate company. And what we do basically for now, in the last 10 years, is what you know as site and services. So that's basically selling of land, right? For those who don't know what that means, because if you have not worked in a real estate company before, some of the terminologies I'll be using may not be something that you're familiar with. Site and service, basically, like I said, is just selling of land. But the land comes with several things. So we're not to turn the land into an estate. The land itself is the site. Alright, is the site.
What's up?
Construction areas and neighborhoods are always known as sites. So that's why we have site engineers, site accountants, site admin, and all of that. So that's the site. The services are the things that we provide on that site to make it livable. Okay? And that's why we can comfortably call it an estate. That's what we provide to make it livable. What are some of those services? You have water, you have lights, you have street lights, you have roads, you have perimeter fencing, you have gatehouse, you have security, you have CCTV cameras. So many things that you can provide. Some of the services also include perhaps swimming pool, children's play area, and so on. Then of course, for an estate to be known as an estate, the government has given approval in your layout for setting up. It's not that for you to say, no, I'm not a Catholic, because the church that is believed there says it's a Catholic church. So no, I'm not a Catholic, I'm a Protestant or Pentecostal, as you call it. So you can now go outside and do, but the church will be within that space. So several of those things like that. Maybe a clinic is too small for you, you want a big hospital, or you're looking for a specialized hospital like orthopedic or gynecology or whatever it is, and you can now go outside of that. But basic medical service will be provided in that clinic. And of course the police station, if there are feuds among the residents, theft or breaking or things like that, it can be easily taken care of. Some of the big estates around the neighborhood, you see they have all of these things in place. These are statutory provisions of you being an estate. Okay? So, having said that, I'll go back to EUC Homes and you now know what we do. And so, this year I said we're going to be 10 years old. And by September, by the grace of God, after we've got 10, the plan for our next 10 years is the reason why we're all here. We are planning on expanding our post, expanding our space, expanding our operation, and expanding everything that we do. And that's what we do with a lot of people. So if by September you have already joined us in April, then you understand where we'll be when we're doing our 10-year celebration. We want to expand everything that we do. First and foremost, we have estates only in Lagos. That's where we operate in the last 10 years. In Lagos, 70% of our estates are also in Ibejuleki local government of Lagos State. We have estates in Iba, Silver Spring. It's just behind the university, Lasu. Behind Lasu, we have an estate there. We have an estate in Oroshoki, just at the foot of the Third Mainland Bridge. It's called the Third Mainland Court. We have an estate in Ekpe, We have estates in Ibejuleki as well. In Ibejuleki, about 70% of our estates are there. And I'll tell you why in a bit. Ibejuleki is so special to us. Ibejuleki is a place where we think, and indeed, as many of us know already now, is the new Lagos. Ibejuleki is going to be the new Lagos. In the space of another 5 years, I think some of you that are here today will call me and say, Mr. Bamfani, you said this thing. I have been predicting this thing in the last 10 years, and it's coming to pass gradually as people are seeing the play or the film unfold. And you will see more. In the next 5 years, I tell you, there's going to be an explosion in that region. And those who are wise will have already taken position in that place. For some other ones who are doubting Thomases, well, what happened to people in Lekki Phase 1, in Victoria Island, and many parts of Lagos will also happen to them. That's what it is. You know, many years ago, precisely about 1998, 96, 98, even up to 2000, Lekki Phase 1 was sold for 5 million naira. When the government started the scheme, they were selling for 2.7 and 3.2. Then when the place was sold out, the people who bought started selling for 4 million, 4.5, 5 million. After 1998, 2000, the plot of land Lekki Phase 1 was 5 million. Today, for some of us who know, you know Lekki Phase 1, the plot of land there is nothing less than 300 million. That's just even the small plot. An average plot is not for 500 million. So from 5 million naira in the year 2000 to 500 million naira in 2025. That's a space of 25 years. That's Lagos for you. These things happen. Victoria Island was like that. Many years ago, Victoria Island was selling for what I would call perhaps chicken change. It was sold in pounds then. Of course, I don't know how many of us go that Nigeria used pounds before we started using Naira. Okay? And we started using Naira in 1971. I mean, okay, let me not ask the question. But then Nigeria was using pounds. And a plot of land in Victoria Island was just about 70 pounds. And then you even have plots that are less than that. BI extension was going for about 20, 25 pounds. So there are people who had the opportunity of buying then and they didn't buy. Okay? And today, that plot of land is going for about R1 billion today. The plot of land in Victoria Island is going for about R1 billion if you find one. If you find one. Because I doubt if there is still any empty plot. But yeah, there are, you know, here and there. You know, there will always be land everywhere. But whether you can afford to buy it is the issue. So, some people are going to buy land now because it's cheap. They're going to buy 4 plots of land and build a small duplex on it. So they have a whole 3 plots to play around with. You see peacock in their compound, you have a swimming pool by the side, you know, a small garden, they plant some guava and tomato and mangoes on the other side. But when the land appreciates and becomes a lot of money, you will tell your wife, honey, don't you think we share this place into two and sell this part? And the one was there, how much is it? It's 1 billion naira now. Hey, let us sell it to. I said, I'll go another day. I will take my days. I'll do that. You know, that's investment. That's land for you. Land will always appreciate. Please take care of that kid. So you don't press the door on her hand. Land will always appreciate. And that's the important thing about the business that we do here. What we do here is we want people to invest their money and get good appreciation in, say, probably after 10 years. Those who have stayed with us from 2016 till now will give you the testimony. 2015 in fact, till now will give you the testimony. Some of them bought land from us at 500,000 naira, some 1 million, 800,000, 700,000. That's what we're selling at plots of land there. Of course, there was a lot of money there, you know, but there were people who could afford it. And some people bought 1 acre, some bought 2 plots, some bought 1 plot. Today, some of those plots, same plots, are going for as much as 15 million, 20 million, 25 million, 30 million. The same plot they bought for 500,000, 1 million, 700,000 10 years ago. Okay? So between now and the next 10 years, most of us are still very young. If you are 10 years your age, you know that, okay, I'm still young, right? But if you have a property that you have bought now for, say, about 6 million or 5 million, by that time you're talking about 50 million. Definitely, that's the way to go. All right? So, what we are doing here, like I said earlier, is concentrated in Ibejuleki. And let me quickly run through the Ibejuleki scenario before we break into the interview session. Ibejuleki, like I said earlier, is very key to us. very, very, very key to us. Lagos State government 2 weeks ago just released a master plan of the Lekki, and many of us need to see it. Perhaps if you are opportunity to come back some other time, or when you get employed with us, you probably will be seeing some of the sketches that we're showing on the screen. If it's ready, the screen is not ready now, so we're working on getting it ready, so I can show some of these things as we say it. Most of us are in the news. Almost on a daily basis, you hear about Dangote Refinery. Dangote Refinery is one that's supplying us with about 60% of our petroleum product today. Even though NNPC is still importing, Port Harcourt is working, Warri is also working, but Dangote Refinery supplies about 60% of the petroleum products that we use in Nigeria, and it's located right in Lekki. The refinery is sitting on a 353-hectare land. That's a lot of land. That's the whole city. Because about 12 communities were displaced from the place where they took for Dangote Refinery. They have been relocated and given a CO in another land. But the space is so large. So when you drive through the place, you'll be wondering, the refinery still continues. In fact, if they don't tell you, you don't know where the refinery started and where it ended. But when you are told, you know that, oh, okay, the refinery still continues up to this side. It's a very large land. And so the Dangote Refinery, as we speak now, they're employing about 35,000 people. That's a very large number of people. 35,000 people is not small numbers at all. I always give the analogy of when you go to a stadium, if I've ever gone to one before, National Stadium is really 60,000 seater capacity. When they're playing match there, the place is full. The whole of Surulere is on lockdown. From Ojuelagba to Mori to Masha the whole place is on lockdown. Just 60,000 people. People came to watch a football match. So you can imagine if half of that number is working in a particular place. Before now, about last year when Dangote Refinery started, when they closed from work, just don't go near that place. Because you may be in traffic for the next 4 hours. You will not move at all. Don't just go near it. But now I think the management has put in a very good plan where most of them don't close at the same time. So people start closing from 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Some people close at 3, some close at 4, some close at 5, some close at 6, some close at 7. So that's why when you go there now, yes, there's traffic, but it's not as bad as it would have been if everybody closed at 5. So that's what they've been able to do there. Yeah. But now, the significance of having that number of workers in a particular place, I'll also tell us in a bit. Let me go straight to the second project. I'll tell you about 4 projects in Lekki that makes Lekki very, very lucrative for us. The second project is the Lekki Deep Sea Port. Alright? The Deep Sea Port is also fully functional. If you go around there, you'll see trucks carrying containers all over the place. There are thousands of them all over the place on a daily basis. They're carrying containers in and out of the port complex. The port complex is sitting on very large grounds, of course, facing the Atlantic Ocean. So what is a deep sea port? Somebody is asking, because we have 2 ports in Apapa. It seems that is not enough for Nigeria, or not enough for us. And so they got to started this one. By the way, the Lekki Deep Sea Port is a joint venture between the Lagos State government, the federal government, and the Chinese. Okay? So these 3 people have put hands together to set up that port. That port, operational-wise, is being run by the Chinese and some Indians, and then administratively run by the Nigerians, who you meet and see in many of the places that you go to. And of course, the federal government is funded and giving approval for the operation of that port. A deep sea port is a port that can accommodate large vessels. Okay, large vessels can berth in that place. Before now, you begin to wonder to yourself, it doesn't mean that large vessels don't come to Nigeria. Indeed, they don't. In the last 40, 50 years, no large vessels can enter Nigeria. Not any part of Nigeria. None. So, the question is, where were they landing if we don't have a deep sea port in Nigeria? It's very simple. They were landing in the port of Lomé and the port of Cotonou. That's where our vessels are coming to Nigeria, because they cannot enter Nigeria. They land in Lomé and Togo and Cotonou. Lomé is in Togo. Cotonou is Benin Republic. Those two ports are the ports that we use. 80% of the cargoes from those ports are Nigerian-bound cargoes. And because they don't have a place to land, they land in those places. In fact, the whole of Benin Republic, the Benin Republic's economy is predicated on the port. 80% of their income as a country comes from that port. And 80% of the cargo from that port comes to Nigeria. So if Nigeria pulls the plug on them, you can imagine what's going to happen to them. The last time Obasanjo closed the border, and I think Buhari closed the border as well, the president came crying and said, you want to kill all of us now. Because we close your border, we cannot bring in anything into Nigeria, and our economy is going to go down. So Nigeria is supporting a lot of these countries around them. But yes, in Nigeria, we don't know that when they call us giant of Africa, we are fumbling, but we are still the giants in many ways. The whole of West Africa, there's no country that can stand up to Nigeria, and we support a lot of countries, and also Central African Republic and many in West Africa. The countries like Chad, Niger, most parts of Cameroon, Benin Republic, Togo, even up to Ghana, they take their source of livelihood from Nigeria. A large chunk of what they live on comes from Nigeria and has to do with Nigeria. So Nigeria is pivotal to most of their development. But today, you have a deep sea port in Lekki, in Lekki, that has taken a lot of resources away from Benin Republic and Togo. Those large vessels can berth in Lekki, this deep sea port now. If you see a lot of those large vessels, you will see the draft that's the belly of the ship. If it enters a port like Apapa port, it's going to destroy the whole port because its belly is going to touch the ground. And so it's going to drag everything along the soil. It can never come near them. But the deep sea port is on the sea, is on the ocean. So they drag that place to the point that the draft is deep. So when a large vessel comes near there, its belly is not going to touch the ground. It's not going to touch the sand. It can come in and sail out as it wants. Even the little vessels that come into Apapa port, you can see how they come in. So for those of us who are familiar with their maritime activities, by the time a ship is trying to get into a port, you must switch off your engine. Your engine cannot be on because those things, there is so much enormous power that if the engine is on, it can even overrun the place where they say stop. So you switch off the engine outside bar. So what happens? You got a tugboat to tow them. See those two small boats. Those guys are very powerful. They will drag the whole ship and drag it into the port without the ship putting out its engine. Okay? So that's the situation in that place. With these ports today, a ship carrying containers of almost about 200,000 containers, and that's very large number. Very large number. I didn't say 2,000 containers. I didn't say 200,000 containers on one boat. I wonder how the boat is not safe. That's technology for you. The people that did it, they know what to put there. I mean, I'm not a scientist. I'm a marketing consultant. But I look at those things and I wonder sometimes how these things are able to move on the sea. Now, one container, to tell you how heavy a container is, all of us in this room cannot carry one container. What is carrying? You cannot lift one side of the container. I don't know if you have ever tried to lift a container before. I have tried to lift a container before. We had to use a crane to carry the container, even when it was empty. All of us in this room cannot lift one side of the container. I tell you no lie. We cannot. That's how heavy a container is. And one ship is carrying 200,000. It's incredible. But yes, so the deep sea port is there to accommodate this in Nigeria, and it's been happening in the last 4 months. We started operation in November, and since then, at least every week, about 2 of those large vessels got there. And the port is so efficient that it clears these cargoes within 48 hours. Within 2 days, all the 200 containers are gone. They are all off the boat, and the ship can sail. So they find it very lucrative now to even come to Nigeria, to go to Cotonou and to go to Lomé. So a few that have not rerouted their destination are still landing in those places, but many of them are already in Lekki, Ibeju Lekki. So there's a beehive of activity, swelling in Ibeju Lekki. You can imagine that the port, with the number of staff that they have too now, And I think they're employing about 10,000 people right now at the port. People are working at the port at various capacities. You also have the drivers of those containers coming in on a daily basis. The drivers always come with conductors. Yeah? You have drivers and conductors coming on a daily basis. You have clearing agents also coming in gradually. Those clearing agents are seen in Apapa. If you go to Apapa, if you know where they are in Apapa, you occupy, I think, about about 6 streets. In fact, the whole of Apapa is filled with clearing agents. The whole of Apapa is filled with clearing agents. Everywhere you have space, they are there. Everywhere they are there. Apart from the main building, Nnewi House is all clearing agents in Apapa. The whole of Commercial Avenue and so on, they're all over the place. If they come to Bejuleki, there'll be serious wahala there, because they're always coming in large numbers. Now, when they come, that's another discussion that I will give you in another two minutes. I've told you that Dangote is employing about 5,000 people. Now the seaport is employing about 10,000 people, plus all these clearing agents and everything. And they're very rich. You know, they have money. Clearing and forwarding is a good business. If you want to make good money, clearing and forwarding is what you should go into. It's a very simple business to do. But of course, you need the connection and perhaps the finance to be able to do this. You're welcome, my brother. Oh, I see. Okay. So, let me quickly go to the third one, and then we'll talk about the fourth one quickly so that we can wrap up on time and start the interview session. The third project are the free trade zones that are in that region. In the Bejuleki alone, we have 3 free trade zones. 3. Many states of Nigeria don't have a free trade zone. Many states. The Bejuleki alone houses 3 free trade zones. Where are these 3 free trade zones? You have the Lekki Free Trade Zone, run by the Chinese. It's perhaps supposed to be the biggest free trade zone, but the Lagos State government did them Ojoro and took them when they were still sleeping. So the Lekki Free Trade Zone is there, run by the Chinese. Then you have the Lagos Free Trade Zone, Lagos Free Zone, run by Lagos State government, and also some Chinese expatriates and all of that. The Lagos Free Trade Zone is where the Dangote refinery is located, and several other factories that are producing there before now. Many of those factories, I don't even want to talk about them, because with a project like Dangote refinery, I cannot be talking about a small Dano milk, or a small Power Oil, or a small Kellogg's. These are not small companies, though. They weren't calling them small, though, compared to Dangote refinery. They are big on their own. Kellogg's is an international brand, and they're producing cornflakes, wafers, all those things that children. My mommy will know some of those things that Kellogg's produces, They are big on their own. So when you talk about the number of people that they employ alone, I don't even want to go there, because their own is going to be something else. And there are many. Many of them are already fully operational within that space. And so, Bejuleki is a potpourri of industrial, residential, commercial, and so on, So a lot of things are happening within that space. Then you have the Alaro City. Alaro City is also a free trade zone. And it's also in the Bejuleki. Just on your way to Ekpe, before the Ekpe Long Bridge is Alaro City. Okay? So, that is the third free trade zone that is there. Now, what's a free trade zone? A free trade zone, I always say that it's not supposed to be called free trade zone, because nothing is free. Nothing is free there. It's not free. But they call it free trade because it's free trade as far as the country of origin is concerned. So that space is carved out as if it's not a territory of Nigeria. It's supposed to be more like a foreign territory. So you don't pay taxes to the Nigerian government. And that's why they call it free trade zone. For me, I rather call it economic zone, and which is what they call it in the US, in Canada, and the UK. It's an economic zone because it's not free. But the fact that you don't pay taxes to the government, the host country, and that's why they call it free in Nigeria. So now, when you call it free, and whatever you produce there, you don't pay taxes in Nigeria, yes, but whatever you produce at the free trade zone, and you want to sell it to Nigeria, is seen as an import. You are importing it. So there's a custom station in every of these 3 free trade zones in the Bejuleki. So when you want to bring your goods into Nigeria, you pay custom duties, because you're importing it into Nigeria. So it's not free. You are paying for it. And the piece of land where those facilities are sitting anyway is so expensive. The same land that we're selling in Ibejuleki for 15 million, 20 million, at the free trade zone is 300 million. In fact, they don't sell in naira, they sell in dollars. $250,000, $200,000. That's what they sell a plot of land in the free trade zone. But why the difference? Because they've added value to what they're doing. And they're looking at industrial concerns. We are looking at residential and Nigerians. So our own is not a foreign territory, our own is the Nigerian territory. You pay taxes to the Nigerian government. If you buy a land there, you want to provide, you're going to pay taxes to the Lagos State government. If you have not paid your taxes in 3 years, Lagos State government is going to collect their taxes from you for all of those 3 years before you can get your approvals. So that's the difference. So we're selling at a very reasonable amount. The last project that makes Ibejuleki very special to us is currently under construction, and I believe that before the end of this year, because the rate at which they are going with the project, if you go around there, is very, very fast. The Lekki International Airport. The Lekki International Airport is coming around there as well, just on your way to Ekpe as well. It's sitting on about the same size of land that the Dangote refinery is sitting on. The Lekki International Airport, I have seen the model. When the concept was initiated, they are fashioning it after the Dubai International Airport. If you know, the Dubai International Airport is one of the biggest airports around the world. Indeed, I believe it's the largest airport in the Middle East. You know, the airport is so large that people don't normally walk within. I mean, you can't walk within the airport space. You have to get on a scooter to take you around shopping malls and so on. Then everything you want is within the airport space. You want to buy goods, you want to go to a restaurant, all the big brands are there, you know. So the Lekki International Airport is going to be fashioned after that. The airport is not only just international, it's also local and international. So you can fly to Abuja from the Lekki International Airport, you can fly to London from Lekki International Airport. So it's local and international. It's not only just passenger airport, it's a passenger and cargo airport as well, which means you can carry your goods and export it from the Lekki International Airport or receive your goods from abroad at that airport. What it means is that the NACO operations will have to move to Lekki International Airport as well. They are currently at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, where you clear your international cargoes. Either you want to export it or you want to bring it into the country of import, you have to get clearance from the customs or from the NACO authorities. So that they are going to move to the Lekki International Airport as well, because cargo is also going to be transported from there. All right. So with that, the airport is going to employ nothing less than about 5,000 people as well. Because people who are going to be working within the airport space are going to be many. That is in addition to the airline staff, you know, who will be operating within that airport, and also travel agencies. Travel agencies will be looking for space within that area, because when you have an airport, the travel agencies are all over the place. The whole of Ikeja is the travel agents zone. The whole of Ikeja, the travel agents are all over the place. It was when urbanization started coming to other parts of Lagos that they started moving into other corporate spaces like Victoria Island, Lagos Island, Lekki, even in the complex right here where we are now. You can find nothing less than 15 travel agencies in this complex. You will not find less than 15 of them here. But by the time the Lekki International Airport is fully operational, most of them are going to want to move to that area and see where they can get space so they can operate close to an airport. Now, with all of these 4 projects, what it means is that it makes our properties in Ibejuleki very lucrative. You have a lot of people who are working and earning good money, living in a particular location. Very soon they'll start looking for how to buy land and live there. Nobody wants to live far from where they work. Transportation is so expensive in Lagos. I'm sure those of us who came from a very, very far places, you know how much you pay to get here. If you do it every day, you're paying 7,000 naira to get to work every day. One day you tell yourself, this thing is too expensive for me now. How much are they paying me, sir? You know, so one day you start thinking, I want to live around this Ipapa area, this complex area. You know, the only problem will be, can you afford it? That's the only problem. But for those people who are foresight now, you're already thinking about it based on what I've said, and I'm saying, let me buy the land now that's 10 million before it becomes 100 million in another 5 years. So if you buy the land in Bejuleke now, in 10 years' time, in 5 years' time, you are okay. You're just looking. If you are lucky to buy 2 or 3 plots, at that time you can sell 1 or 2 plots and use the money to build on your 1 plot, or able to do other businesses that you want to do. That's how people become rich. Property is one of the foremost investment that will make you rich. And talking about riches, for you to be rich, of course, you need multiple streams of income. You cannot rely on just one source alone. A lot of us today, we rely on just our salaries. Salaries don't make anybody rich. Yes, but there are billionaire salary earners today. And when you want to talk about them, you just wonder whether, I'm going to say salary, you're saying salary does not make you rich. But the MTN CEO is a billionaire. His salary alone in a year is more than in excess of $1 billion. Yeah? Most of the oil servicing most of the oil companies and oil servicing companies also have their CEO earning big money. But how many of them do we have? You can almost count them on the tip of our finger. They're welcome. Also sits there. You can almost count them on the tip of our finger. You know, you have the big conglomerates, the Mobil, the Chevron, Total, and the rest of them. You know, you have government agencies. Some of them are paying big salaries to some of the whatever. But of course, some of the government agencies don't pay that well. It's just that when you have access to corruption, then you call yourself a billionaire. I'm not a billionaire by working. I've been a minister in Federal Program in Nigeria. I can't be a billionaire. The salary of a minister last time I checked was 850,000 naira. Yeah. So, but you see a lot of them driving big cars and they have access to some other things that we don't want to talk about. It's not our business for this discussion. But for us here, that's our lesson for today. For you to be rich, you need multiple streams of income. So in addition to your salaries, what else can you do to make extra money for yourself? In EUC Homes, we are fashioned out a way that people can make extra money. I'll quickly run through 1 or 2 of those ways. Second, I don't know if we have this pamphlet. So what I'm going to talk about is all inside of this pamphlet. Have you given everybody a copy of it? Okay, give them a copy of it so that compare why we're looking at it. This contains perhaps all the things I've been talking about today, and then of course the last one I'm going to talk about right now, which is how we can benefit from all that I've said. You know, if we are opportune to be employed today in EUC Home, you will be one of those that will be part of the process that I've been talking about, assisting us to move from where we are to where we want to go to the next 10 years. Now, in the next 10 years, we want to begin to build houses. We just don't want to sell land alone anymore. We've been selling land for 10 years. The next 10 years, we want to sell land and sell houses as well. Or perhaps we don't even want to sell land anymore. But by then, with all that I've said today, if before the end of this year, all our land is sold out, there will be no land to sell anymore. Maybe we have to look for something else to do. So, but what are we going to do if lands are sold out? Is to begin to build houses. We want to begin to build. And the unique, elegant, and comfortable homes are what we want to begin to build so that those who are working within that space can have accommodation when the time comes. All right? Because they will soon start looking for accommodation around the Bejuleke where they work. So if that happens, we want to be the ones providing those solutions to them. And you know what that means. Yes, I figure that we have maybe about 2,000 or 3,000 plots of land left as of now. You know, but that's not going to be enough with the number of people that I mentioned earlier. If you have 35,000 people who are earning good salary in the economy, you have 10,000 at the port, you have about 5,000 at the airport, and several of them are these free trade zones. I don't know how many plots that we can sell that will satisfy all of them. Even if you share the land into quarter plots, I said, okay, we can't sell one full plot, one person. Let's sell a quarter plot. How many are going to sell? We don't have up to 8,000 at the end of the day. And we're not the only ones. Anyway, there are several other companies that are selling land within that space. But all of us put together, we will not be able to satisfy the needs of the people when the time comes. Those lands are going to be, and that's the reason why the land is going to start appreciating by the way. Because when you have more people chasing few goods, it's just common sense that the prices will go up. And when the prices go up, it will continue to go up as the demand increases. So the more the people that are looking for land to buy, the more the prices keep appreciating. Today you go and touch one land and say, how much is this land? They'll tell you it's 25 million. It's okay. Next week, I'm coming back. By next week when you get there, the same 25 million land has gone to 35 million. Just last week here, about 15 other people have come for the same land. Once you are running around looking for your 25 million, 15 other people have come for the same land. And so the owner of the land will say, you can't get this land now, okay, now. Not for 25 million anymore. You first increase it to 28, then to 30, then to... At some point you still have to give in and sell, because if you are too greedy and you give it and you don't sell, it probably will crash at some point. Like phase 1 went through that phase. There was a crash in property price in phase 1 in 2005 and in 2014, twice. So that's it. So now let me quickly touch on how you can benefit from this, whether as a staff or a non-staff. If you are an independent consultant with EUC Home, you stand a chance of making 25% commission when you sell a plot of land with us, no matter the amount that we're talking about. Our most expensive land today is the Third Mainland Court in the Wodoshoki, and a plot of land there is going for 120 million naira. If you sell that, you're going to get 25% of it. Somebody quickly do the math for me. 25% of 120 million is what? Yeah?
You should 24 or 25 million, yeah.
So you make 24 million just like that, that's selling this one plot. Then let me use a small one so that my eyes will not be going too much. We have plenty of land going for 10 million. So if you sell that one, that one is easy to get. I don't know where the money is coming from. A lot of people seem to have 10 million to play around with. I don't know how, but Nigeria is big. We're about 300 million people. So all the things we're talking about now is just in thousands. Houses in Lagos, how many are there? People think, oh, there are so many houses in Lagos. Yes, there are so many houses in Lagos. When you know the figures, you'll not be shocked like, is that the number of houses that we have? Yes, that's the number of houses that we have. So, if you sell a plot of land that's going for 10 million, you get 25% of 10 million. 25% of 10 million is 2.5 million. So quite easily you move for 5 million just like that, by selling just a normal plot that everybody is buying. Alright? So, but again, that's you selling, because I hear somebody saying that, no, I'm not the marketer, I don't like marketing, I don't like talking to people about buying anything. No, that's not my forte. Yes, it's good. A lot of people are like that. Before I became a marketing consultant, I've gone through that phase myself. To say, no, I can't talk to somebody about it. No, I don't like it. But when you talk to people, you get a lot of things. People will tell you off, they will tell you, they're taking from you, and you look as if you are begging somebody. When you're trying to introduce something that will benefit their life, they're telling you to, leave me alone, as if you want to take their money, you want to steal their money. So that's marketing for you. But marketing has to come with boldness. You have to know what you are doing. You have to have information about your product. And so when that is happening, then you are confident because, okay, just out of the blue, somebody will just throw a question at you and if you're not answering him, that's it for him. That's what he's been looking for. So if you are among those who say, I'm not a marketer, I don't want to market, no, it's not my thing. Okay, fine, no problem. But you can still make money. How can you make money? You can talk to somebody about being a consultant. And that one is not difficult. Your friends, your church member, your club member, your street neighbors, everybody has someone. You don't have to be talking to them before now. You can start the conversation at the beginning with this information. It's okay, I have something to do to you. Will you be a consultant? You sell land for a certain company, and that's it. So let me use the three of you as an example. If you talk to her about this program, and she talks to her about the same program, the three of you are in one generation. We have the direct first generation and second generation. All three of you will be paid if she makes the sales. She's the last on the line. So she makes the sales, she's going to get 25% commission from that sale. You introduce her, you're going to get 3% of the same amount from what she sold. Let me assume that she sold 10 million naira crops, for instance. You go get 2.5 million naira from that 10 million naira. You will get 3%. 3% of 10 million is what? 600,000 naira. You get 600,000 naira. You're going to get 2%. 2% is how much? 400,000 naira. You're going to get 400,000 naira from there. So all three of you are going to earn something from you. Now you don't even know how. She's the one you know, and she's the one you recruited. You don't know anything about her. She's not in your picture. You don't even know where her name is. But once she makes the sales, in the office you have your records. They're going to pay you, and I pay you as well. So it's just enough. It's just okay for you to just recruit as many people as possible. The more generations you have, the more the probability of you earning from different sources on a monthly basis, or even on a regular basis. All right. So if you recruit this down line, and then you turn around and the lady behind you, you also recruited her, and she also recruited 2 other people. The same thing will happen as has happened here. So you can have 100 of your generations on standby, which means you have recruited 100 people. 100 people that are not idle, they have recruited other people as well. So you're sitting on your own. You have 300 people that are perhaps working for you, basically, because that's what it means. Because if they make sales, they're going to earn from their sales. So if you have 100 people, you go to sleep and say, okay, I've tried to put 100 people this year, let me go and relax. And then you relax, and then when the earnings come, you're going to earn from them. You're not selling those because you're not a marketing person. You don't want to talk to anybody about selling land. I don't even want to miss that involved in selling land. You know, so now the morning when I wake up and be calling me, that land, there's water there, that land, I'm only there as long as you show, that land, you don't want to buy at all. So you don't want to just do the recruitment, and then the earnings start coming. That's it. What you want. Alright, so that's 2 ways to make money just by recruiting and talking to people. There's another way that you're going to also make money from. If in the space of 1 month, you're able to recruit up to 50 people in a month. If you recruit up to 50 people in a month, we'll pay you 200,000 for recruiting 50 people. If you recruit 100 people in a month, we'll pay you 400,000. If you're a staff, that's in addition to your salary. Your salary is not affected by your recruitment. And I believe that your job will not be affected by it as well. Because those who are doing it currently, their job is not being affected. Okay? So, there are ways to do it. To recruit. Everything is in our palms these days. Your phones are there to get all these things done quite easily. Right? So, if just meeting the target is what you do, you're going to earn from it. Very easily. Okay, so somebody is asking the question. So what kind of people am I recruiting? What if they don't make sales? That's not your business. Your business is that you have recruited 50 people and you qualify for 200,000 naira. Or you have recruited 100 people and you qualify for 400,000 naira in the space of 1 month. I repeat, in the space of 1 month. Okay, you must recruit those 50 people or 100 people within the space of 1 month. 30 calendar days. If you start today is what? 27th. By 27th of next month, I want to see your 50 people or your 100 people. Don't wait until the following month or the second month you have cancelled you didn't meet your target. The target based thing. You must be within 30 calendar days. That's a month. So you make that as well. Okay? So yep. That is that. This job comes with very flexible working arrangements, and you don't have to break a sweat to be able to do it. Ms. Daniela will give everybody a form like this to fill. It's at your discretion. You may fill it. It doesn't matter whether you're employed. If you're employed, okay, now the caveat: if you are a staff of UC Home, I forgot to say that you will not earn 25%. You are going to earn 15% as a staff. You are working with us. We are paying you salary. When you make sales, you're going to earn 15% commission. That is the only one that is affected. If you recruit, you get your money the way everybody else will get. If your downlines make sales, you're going to get your 3% or your 2% as the case. That is not affected. The only thing that's affected is the 25% and the 25% direct commission that comes to you. So if you as a staff make sales, we're paying you 15% commission because we pay you a salary and perhaps we use our time to do all of that. Okay. But the other ones we try to encourage everybody to try and get involved and make some money for themselves. So it doesn't matter how much your salary is today, if you are employed and the salary is negotiated, and let me assume that we get paid 500,000 naira in a month. That is a stabilization factor for you. It's stabilizing funds for you. You know that every month, oh, this is what I'm going to take home away. But you can make your income even up to ₦1 million naira or even more by the other actions that you take, which is either the recruitment or trying to make sales. Everybody in a real estate company, especially in the UC, is a marketer. So those who say, I'm not a marketer, we are not going to force you to do marketing. No. It is at your own best, it is your own best interest to do marketing so you can make money for yourself. So if the salary is 500K and you're doing other things to get money for yourself, you can at the end of the month go with ₦1 million naira, you can go with 1.5 million naira. The sky is the limit. So I can hear another question saying that these people that you are recruiting, what is the benefit of these people to EUC? We are not recruiting children, please. Adults, anybody from 18 years and above is what the law says. Adults who can stand on their own, okay, are the people that we're recruiting. Not going to recruit children of 14 years, 15 years, secondary school children about.
What are you going on?
We're not asking for the age of people, but yes, your date of birth and all of that is supposed to be there. And of course, we don't expect you to give wrong information when you're doing your recruitment. By all means, just try and be, true to yourself and give the right information so you can earn whatever you're earning in peace. Any issues and problems. So, the adults that we're talking about, who are they? I always tell people it's just about anybody. The person that will make sales, they don't write it on the forehead of anybody. Now, this brother will make sales. I can see he looks sharp. The kind of person that will make sales. No, it's not written on anybody's face at all. Not at all. You don't know who's going to make sales. Just about any adult can make sales. As long as they have other group of people that they talk to, they relate with, they can make sales. And I've been saying it. If you like, go out and recruit area boys, no problem. Recruit mechanics and vulcanizers, no problem. Go to where you fix your car, recruit your mechanics, no problem. Go into BGC, recruit all the house helps in BGC, no problem. I'll pay you your 200,000 naira or $400 case may be. Okay? There's a story I always give to people every week when the training is going on. Someone took this initiative and started recruiting people. And she went to BGC and recruited a house help on a street. Someone that she just used to. She recruited her and told her, see, I went to the company and this is what happened. And the house help was recruited. Now, without her knowing, about a week after that, she always takes flyers from the office and goes home with. So this particular day, she took flyers and gave it to that lady. That, I made recruit you, take flyer, you could share them. Anytime you see anybody, just give it to anybody. This lady took the flyer, she didn't share it, but one day she remembered that she has flyers and she took it and gave it to her own boss. Her boss comes late every day. So, in the evening, when she said, good evening, sir, welcome, sir. The person carry flyer, give to her. What is this? It's one company they are selling, they say they are selling land. Just say, make I give you. Is that what I asked you to be doing? Is that what I've been doing with all your time? Sorry, sir. The man took the thing and put it somewhere. Later when he got upstairs in the night, was not relaxed. I told everybody was asleep. He looked at the flyer and okay. In the morning before he went to work, he called her, come on. That's what you gave me yesterday. Where did you get it from? He said, well, my friend that lives on the down the street, I told him, sir. I'm sorry, sir. I said, no. I'm sorry. Call the company. Called us. And the man bought land. The source came from a house help. The boss bought the land. He bought 2 plots of land in the UC homes. It was not small plots of 10 million. It was a big man, he to BGC. The plot he bought at that time was almost 20 million naira, 40 million naira. Guess how much we paid to the lady? paid out 6 million. You know what happened after that? The lady ran away. I've never seen 6 million in her life. She never believed she would even make 6 million from just giving the flyer to her boss. She never thought she would ever have that kind of opportunity. She ran away. And the boss came here and said, what did you people do for yourself? What did you do for yourself? We didn't do anything for her. You bought land and we paid her commission. That's not we haven't done any evil. Said the woman has run away. People made her to run away. The kind of money that she has never seen. You carry that kind of money and pay to her. Right? Like I said earlier, don't recruit children. She's an adult. She's entitled to earn any amount of money that she can earn. I think they even put this on a bank account at that time because she doesn't have a restriction because no kind of money has not entered the account before. You know, if big money enters the account, they're going to restrict your account, especially if your account is not a regular account. Many of those have OPay, all this OPay, money point account they're using. You go and put 10 million inside, you'll see what you are putting on. They're going to lock it. That's why it's advisable to open a commercial bank account. Zenith Bank, Access Bank, all those big banks. And even at that, your account must be either tier 3 or tier 4. Is it tier 3 or tier 4 or the other way around? Tier 1 or tier 2 or tier 3. Yeah. So you must have tier 3 before you can receive some kind of amount in your account. So, and even when you have the big account, whether corporate or not, if you receive 250 million in your account and you have never received before, the FCC will block your account. They've been doing that. You have to go and explain. One of the only reasons they accept is real estate. That's one of the only reasons. You say, oh, I make commission from sales of properties. That one, they don't bother with it. They will release the money instantly. Especially if you can show proof that the money came from a real estate company. Because whatever we transfer to you is going to come in the name of the people. It's not going to come in my name because I'm not going to transfer money to you on my own. It's going to come in the name of PUC, so it's easy for you to defend. This money came from this company, it's not my own. Alright? So, just about anybody can be recruited, and I tell you, it's been happening, people are doing it, and we have been seeing testimonies and results. The lady standing right here in front of you, last week, she collected her own, she recruited 50 people. She's our front desk officer. And she got her money. I didn't you get the money? You didn't buy me any coke anyway. But that's okay. I'm asking for anything. Mr. Corey, please bring that thing out for me. Let me show you something there. A gentleman came to this office. Look at this board. You see how much is You see how much is on this board? You see, okay, is that how much is it? It's not 10,000, no? Thank you. Let me show them from this side. Yeah. It's not 12,000, no? 12 million. This man, he has begged me not to publicize him again. Just keep it, turn it upside down. He has begged not to publicize him again. In fact, the first time he was not very happy with it. No, now. You people have put me in trouble in my area. Now, people saw this video on YouTube and they were coming to him. Asking him to give them money. Somebody, one of his friends, gives him money normally, regularly. Decided, you're kind of good. How come I did? Maybe last week I gave you 12 million. This guy came for an interview here, just like we are here today. And after the talk, he registered as a consultant. And he came to me after the interview and told me that, you know what? I think I would try my hands on this thing that you're talking about. And within the space of 2 months, Mr. Adam made the sales. And he got his commission. You're welcome. He got his commission of 12 million in the space of 2 months. Now the salary he was supposed to pay, let me assume that for 500,000 naira. He has made his 2-year salary already. The man is on the street now, running around looking for another opportunity so that I can bring somebody in to buy another product. These are the opportunities that are there. There are lots of testimonies. I don't want to bore you with those testimonies. Today, I think we should be giving some people who have met their target to money today. But if we don't, then probably next week they will get their money. but that you make the target, you will get what is due to you. Okay? So those are some of the ways that we're looking at. Any questions? Yes, please. There's the computer. Those who are interested can, whether as a staff or whether you're employed today or not, whether as an independent consultant, whether as anything, you're free to fill the form, sign it, and drop it back to her. You know, you never can tell. Yesterday, guess what? They called me yesterday. Oh. They called me. Oh. This is my answer. They called me yesterday. Me myself, I was shocked. I said, "Is this Mr. Lampere?" I said, "Yes, Mr. Lampere." They said, "Well, they were calling you from EUC Home." I said, "From EUC Home? Who is talking there?" She said, "My name is Onyinye. Is that you talking?" And she was shocked. She was like, "Okay, sorry, sir. What am I talking with?" I said, "Who did you call? Who did you call?" If you go to my table, you'll see my recruitment form there. Please bring it. Let me show them. You see my consultant form. So it so happens that in 2016, I was also recruited like you were recruited, and I filled my form, and the form was there. So we are calling old consultants. We are calling them to encourage them to come back. Some of them have even forgotten that they registered. Just like some of us will forget today that we registered if at the end of the day, you know, we'll just forget, did I register for a month? No. Oh, okay, if you are very sharp, okay, yeah. I registered so many years ago, okay. That's how it is. If sales is made, we will not call you. The details that we want in that form is very simple. Your name, your bank account details, and your address. That's the basic information. So that when you make sales, it is alert you will see, not phone call. Oh. We don't have time to call that, okay, that message, come on, no, you will see the alert. When you see the alert, if you don't want the money, come to the office here, come and tell us. And some money in my account from you, this is my money. I don't want to. People should take your hand. We'll take the money back, or you can send it back to us. Okay? But that is the simple way that this thing happens. Now the second information that we want there is your next of kin. You know, we're talking about money here, so okay, not here, but not the fine. I'll look for it. The second information I want there is your next of kin. Why are we asking for your next of kin? Because we're talking about money.
It's okay.
God forbid anything happens to anybody before the money comes. Somebody has to collect that.
Off your flashlight.
We're not going to take the money. We're not going to take the money.
Yes, flashlight is on.
That's why we need your next of kin information. Your next of kin is somebody, of course, I don't have to explain what next of kin is. It's somebody that you trust, that should be in your position when something happens to you. For those of us who are married, your husband. If you're a woman, you're a man, your wife. Many people don't want to put their husband as next of kin, by the way. The experience is there. A lot of women don't put their husband as next of kin. But it's okay. We are not in control of who you put. Many women would rather put their children as next of kin than their husband. It's okay. That's your own private business. But that's okay. Your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, just about anybody can be your next of kin. Or somebody that you know that if you are not there, or we cannot reach you, we'll reach that person or pay that person the money. That's why it is requested. The other information that is there is not for you to fill, it's for our own company to fill, you know, if you're offline and like that. So when you recruit somebody and you have that form, you put your name at that bottom part. So I'm the one that will check this person. And so when sales is made, you're going to get your payment. Okay? So that is that for any question, yes, please. Yes. You take the form, you bring the form to the office here. Yeah, to the office. So now, some of us are coming from very far places. Yes, we understand that. You can send the form to the admin. Yes, or the phone number that you contacted when you were coming for the interview. You can send those forms to the person. We'll print it out in the office and keep it here for you. Once you meet your target, we'll invite you over on the day that you presented the money and you get your money. It's a very simple process. Okay. Before now, we wanted people to be treated to come to the office physically. But we tried to do a little bit because transport cost is expensive. If I'm going to pay 50 people to there, I don't know how much I get to spend to them because my dad don't want to spend their money to come. They know, you say you come, oh yeah, pay my transport. You know. So the form is what we critically need. But with the information that you have on the form, you don't see verified, you know, it's a real. I'm going to do AI.